Jelly all over the place, cause I'm a bust load of jelly all over your face. Too much volcano.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Here we go again. Shake Your Jelly is the newest collaborative rap song by Chris Broad of Abroad in Japan, following up the smash hit Too Much Volcano from 2021 with lyrics by Dr. Jelly himself after he overthrew Natsuki in a decisive rap battle in the previous journey across Japan. In the most recent series, Non-Stop North, Chris and Joey were given one of the least specific challenges of the trip, with nothing but a picture of Dr. Jelly as their prompt. While this had nearly always been given to them as a challenge to make some sort of commercial in the past, the boys decided to make use of a scrapped beat Chris had made for Joey and Natsuki's rap battle.
Check this out. Oh, that bass. I made this on the same app. I did Too Much Volcano on.
And while the lyrics seem innocuous enough, simply celebrating the wonders of both Dr. Jelly and his jelly drink product, just like Too Much Volcano, there's far more to unpack within both the backing beat and the underlying message of what these lyrics actually mean. The track opens with an electric bass playing in a funky melody, starting us off with what would initially seem like a fairly straightforward rhythm for the first 4 beats. The second bar, however, throws off this sense of rhythm with some strange timing, almost as though an odd syncopation or triplet has been thrown in where we weren't necessarily expecting it. This rhythmic instability can be likened to the somewhat unexpected nature of Dr. Jelly himself, as every advertisement featuring the character has him popping in seemingly out of nowhere to show off what would otherwise be a normal vitamin supplement. This is then furthered with a sharp twang on the bass to introduce the hi-hats, now giving us a more grounded sense of the rhythm we had before, but tricking our senses into feeling the offbeats as the strong beats. For most people, none of this would be particularly noticeable, but with the first whispered iteration of Shake Your Jelly uttered, the rhythmic pattern is once again thrown for a loop as the drums start playing a simple boom-bop rhythm to lock the guitar into the offbeats and realign our brains for the rap that is to come. Here we also introduce a second bass guitar playing a fittingly funky groove, alternating between syncopated patterns and long-held notes for a sense of push and pull, squishing like the jelly within the Tetra Pak. Shake it, jelly. Shake it, jelly. We now have a sense of the overall vibe of the song from these intro bars and waste no time moving into the first verse. Along with the actual lyrics, we're given the first proper indication of our E minor key, with the synth pad working in tandem with the 2 basses to give us E minor 7, A minor 9, B minor 7, a minor 1, 4, 5 motion. While minor chords generally create a darker sound, the use of 7th and 9th chords makes them a bit more ambiguous, as these chords always contain major intervals within them, such as the G major here, D major here, and of course the most obvious in the pad's straight C major.
Shake your jelly all over the place, cause I'm a bust a load of jelly all over your face. Got a fast.
Getting into the lyrics, Joey starts off with Shake Your Jelly all over the place cause I'll bust a load of jelly all over your face, immediately introducing us to one of the main themes of the track, hypersexualization in modern culture and society.
I'm ready for sex.
While never stated explicitly, it doesn't take much imagination to understand the sexual innuendo implied somewhat lightly by shaking your jelly all over the place, and much more directly with busting a load all over your face. This is even later supplemented with a shot of Chris squeezing the jelly all over himself, using his own face as an example of how even the greats are not above this modern day phenomenon.
Shake your jelly all over the place, cause I'm a bust a load of jelly all over your face. Got a fast.
The next set of lines, got a fat stack of jelly cash up in my briefcase and one slippery flow that you can't outpace, has Joey hyping up his rap scales in a fairly normal manner, but also touches on another theme that was brought up in Too Much Volcano, that of Japan's capitalist regime that Dr. Jelly is merely a byproduct of.
Cause I'm a bust a load of jelly all over your face. Got a fat stack of jelly cash up in my briefcase and one slippery flow that you can't outpace.
While Dr. Jelly has become a beloved character within the Abroad in Japan cinematic universe, Chris himself seems to have grown wary of the character.
Ideally, this episode would be kill off Dr. Jelly in the most violent way possible, but we don't have the budget at the moment right now, or the manpower to make that happen.
Wishing for his demise, but being forced to keep him in as a way to please his audience. An audience that brings him views, thus generating income and appeasing his shareholders, to which the never-ending vicious cycle continues ever onwards. Impressively, Joey wrote this rap in about 20 minutes, making sure to keep some sort of jelly-related reference in every line, and the next few outline this nicely.
Let's face it, I'm the best, nicest PB&J, but there's no need for extra spray when I'm in the fray. So turn it up. This my jam, all these rhymes you can gel with will make you all jelly like you lost your skeleton.
While this does of course show off the impressive feat of having written a rap about jelly in a short period of time, it also brings to mind some much darker imagery, as these references to jelly can also be perceived as references to heavy narcotics and an addictive mindset. As we've already touched on, there are hints of hypersexualization here, as Dr. Jelly likens himself to a snack that will get you your fix, so long as you shut out the noise and focus on him as you lose control of your body. Whether the listener perceives Dr. Jelly as a person or a product, both of these make sense in the context of the lines. Sex and drugs are common themes in many types of music, rap especially, so this plays on our numbness towards the subject by making sure it doesn't feel out of place even in what appears to be a silly song about jelly.
Let's face it, I'm the best, nicest PB&J, but there's no need for extra spray when I'm in the fray. So turn it up, this my jam, all these rhymes you can gel with will make you all jelly like you lost your skeleton.
By contrast to the verses, the chorus is actually quite simple and straightforward, opting for a more party-oriented vibe than anything with much deeper meaning. This, of course, is also a good way to indicate how a distracting and catchy tune can easily make one lose sight of the bigger picture, as the susceptibility of human focus to certain stimuli is exactly how modern society has designed itself to capitalize on all our weaknesses and insecurities. Joey simply repeats the title of the song a few times, throwing in additional product information such as multivitamin mineral laced and feels good to drink with impeccable taste. Empty words used to push his product to the masses.
Shake it jelly, shake it jelly, shake it jelly all over the place. Shake it jelly, multivitamin mineral lace.
From a musical perspective, we also steadily begin to lose the acoustic and semi-acoustic elements of the backing track, with the opening melodic bass having been removed from the mix early into the first verse, and the supporting bass also losing its spot to a synthesized bass halfway through the chorus. The bass line does go back to the electric bass in the second verse, but the lead never returns, perhaps as a nod to the loss of identity and self in the face of society's pressures.
Shake it jelly, multivitamin mineral lace. Come on, shake it jelly all over the place. Yeah, shake it jelly, feels good to drink with impeccable taste.
In the second verse, Joey gets a bit more intricate with his methods of sexualizing the jelly, starting with, I see men getting jelly over my melanin, so quit meddling with the sweet and sticky gelatin man. The first line's wordplay is particularly impressive, as we can simply remove a couple of letters like so, and
See men getting jelly over my melanin.
the sweet and sticky gelatin man is one that he is telling the listener to succumb to, whether we take this as a sexual reference as outlined by the double entendre of the first line, or take these two lines at face value, with the man at the end acting as a sentence ender rather than a noun affected by the word gelatin.
What I do is I like to say, man, hey, can I have $2? And you go, no, sorry, man. You gotta add the man in there.
Cause I can easily slam a crate of jelly down, spread you like jam all the way to Jellytown, has the listener feeling pressured to partake in whatever it is that Joey's lyrics have been implying, stating how Dr. Jelly's impressiveness makes it easy for him to A, drink and do drugs, or B, get laid, with the possible implication of doing both simultaneously. This is then contrasted with the next couple of lines, so drink it up, get your minerals and vitamins, D, E, C, and some riboflavin.
So drink it up, get your minerals and vitamins D, E, C, and some riboflavin.
Initially, the drink it up part continues the darker references, but then seamlessly flows into another basic advertisement for the jelly drink, outlining a number of the vitamins contained within it. While it's curious that he would list the lettered vitamins in a seemingly random order, this also plays into the spontaneity of the character himself. More importantly, from a lyrical perspective, is also the way Joey pronounces vitamins in this context, as it is the first and only time throughout the song in which he pronounces the word with a long I sound rather than the short sound he has been using on the word multivitamins.
Minerals and vitamins, 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 vitamins. Chicken jelly, multivitamin, vitamin, vitamin, vitamin.
It's a small detail, but this is done to help make the pairing with riboflavin sound more natural despite the difference in syllables, as we have an assonant vowel sound at the start and a proper rhyme at the end, ignoring the S on vitamins. The last lines of the verse come in with "and shake your jelly all over with grace, cause the doctor's back to set you all in your place." With the previous lines returned to a simple advertisement again, this throws off our perception of how to understand these lines, taking Dr. Jelly's words at face value as he, the doctor, can advise us on what is best. This is, of course, the irony in that Dr. Jelly, whether perceived as a personification of hypersexualization and addiction or a capitalist marketing scheme, is the root of the problem, one that we should not be taking the advice of aside from the most basic understanding that he wants us to drink the vitamin jelly.
Drink it up, get your minerals and vitamins D, E, C, and some riboflavin. And shake your jelly all over with grace, cause the doctor's back to set you all in your place. Come on.
The final chorus is simply a repetition of the first chorus with some slight changes in the mix for musical intrigue. There isn't much to say about these small changes, but one of the more interesting parts to note is right after Joey finishes the main lines of the chorus. It's hard to say how much Chris knows about music and its composition, as the app he uses hasn't been mentioned by name, but his two songs share a similarity that goes beyond the basic sounds and loops he uses. Here in bar 42, Joey throws in one final "just shake your jelly" in a rhythm unlike any we've heard throughout the song.
Just shake your jelly.
It isn't so unusual so as to throw off the vibe or pacing, however it does distract us from the use of Chris's compositional signature, an additional 2 beats to lengthen a passage ever so slightly before returning to normal. You can see here that unlike the bars surrounding it, bar 42 is actually 6 beats instead of 4, lengthening the chorus as if to beckon us to stay longer, continuing to spiral down into the abyss with Dr. Jelly. For reference, these additional 2 beats were also present in Too Much Volcano to allow Natsuki the time to fully sing out the words "Extra salami." And in case you aren't convinced that this is an intentionally genius technique Chris is utilizing, remember that this is also consistently used throughout Outkast's most famous song, Hey Ya. As the song comes to a close, we're met with the sounds of crowd noise and Dr. Jelly squeezing the pig Chris acquired earlier in the series. Taking everything we've analyzed about the song into account, this crowd, while likely meant to sound like cheering, now takes on a darker tone, as if the crowd is screaming and sounds more riotous than jovial. The pig being squeezed as Dr. Jelly force feeds it the jelly drink is meant to represent us, the listeners, forced to consume the product we know we shouldn't as he laughs in our faces. However we may have felt about Dr. Jelly before the song, his character, at least as portrayed in this song, is one of corruption, a glimpse into the dark recesses of society, a representation of the evils of man.
A Sith Lord?
And we are merely slaves to his inevitable reappearance as the music chooses not to end, but to fade into silence. Well, that certainly took a different turn than I was expecting it to when I was deciding to actually make this video. And in case you're wondering, no, I also don't know what the hell I just made. In a similar way to when I posted the Too Much Volcano over analysis, I was kind of burnt out from making my regular content about anime soundtracks and anime-related music in general. And so, as you might have noticed, it's been quite a while since I last posted a video. So I guess in that sense, Chris and Joey making this song right now was just perfect timing for me to make something that was dumb and fun and a way to get me more enthusiastic about making videos again. This isn't the kind of content that I usually make, but I'm sure that in the future someone is going to make another kind of silly song that I'm going to want to overanalyze for something dumb and fun just to blow off some steam. So if that's something that you guys think you'd like to see, make sure to let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd honestly be really surprised if this video gets anywhere near the the same attention that the previous one did, but I mean, whether or not it does, let's see if we can at least get Chris and Joey to notice it like they did for the last one. And if you want to help support the channel and get access to things like all of the transcriptions that I do for my more analytical content, including the transcription and analysis that I did for this video, make sure to go over and support me on Patreon. So cheers to that, thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Just shake your jelly.